I wanted to share my story earlier, but it took me some time to gather the courage. About 5 years ago, I married my wife. I always saw her as a caring and loving person who was deeply concerned about me. But when everything fell apart, she revealed a side of herself I had never seen before. I can't tell if she had always been this way or if she changed because of our marriage. 1 year after we got married, we had a daughter. She is the light of my life, and I absolutely adore her. My wife and I both love children, so having our daughter felt like a wonderful blessing for our new family. Fast forward to the future, the pandemic hit, and I lost my job. My wife continued working in her office while I took on any job I could find. This caused a lot of tension, and we argued frequently. During one of these arguments, my wife slapped me in front of our daughter. I know it must have made her feel uncomfortable, but she was too young to understand and probably doesn't even remember it. My wife often reminded me that I didn't have a stable job, and our marriage kept getting worse. To give you some context, I didn't finish high school, which makes it difficult to find a steady job in my country. I tried many places, but nothing worked out. 2 days ago, after helping with some deliveries to make extra money, I came home early. What I saw will never leave my mind. My wife was in the kitchen, being intimate with a man from her office. She saw me standing there, completely shocked. She screamed in panic when she saw me. I wanted to confront the man, but I somehow managed to stay calm. I left the house, taking my wife's car keys since I don't have a car and needed to pick up our daughter from school. A few minutes later, she came out of the house with messy hair and a flushed face. She had likely been with that man for hours. She looked at me, crying, and kept saying she loved me and was sorry. I didn't know what to say. The only question I could ask was, "How long has this been going on?" She replied, "Please, it was the first time." I didn't know what I was thinking. I knew she was lying. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't. I got into the car without another word, drove to my daughter's school, and picked her up. To calm down, I took her to a fast food place and bought us some snacks. For a brief moment, while we were eating, I forgot what had happened. After an hour, my wife texted me, saying she loved me and was very sorry for what she had done. She said she was staying at a friend's house from work to think things over. I didn't reply. When I got home, I found the man from the office sitting on the sidewalk looking down. I put my daughter to bed in what used to be our house, then went outside to talk to him. He turned around, crying, and said he didn't know she was married. I asked him to explain, and he told me that my wife had lied to him, saying she was single, that her ex-husband lived in another state, and that her daughter lived with her. He said they never went into the bedroom because that was the only place with pictures of us together. He guessed that if he saw those pictures, he might realize she was married and stop their relationship. I asked him the same question I asked my wife, "How long has this been going on?" He answered that their affair had been going on for 3 months. I felt numb. I had never felt so devastated in my entire life. I told him to go home, but he said he didn't have a car and that my wife had driven him to our house and was supposed to take him back. He seemed genuinely remorseful, and maybe he was telling the truth. I gave him a ride to his place, and we didn't talk during the drive. When we got there, I asked if he had anyone in his life, and he said he had a girlfriend. I told him he should tell her everything that happened to protect both of them and their relationship. I warned him that she might be very upset, but he couldn't continue the relationship with that kind of secret. In the end, I said it was his decision whether to tell her or not. He agreed and got out of the car. After that, I went home to be with my daughter. I have never felt so broken and heartbroken in my life, and I have cried more in the past 2 days than ever before. Now, all I can think about is protecting my daughter. I don't ever want to see that woman again, and I hope to find a lawyer soon to start the divorce process. I will try to share updates whenever I can.